All right, welcome. It's good to have you back. You guys have been kicking ass.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, love the new song. Love the last couple songs. Let's Go. That song was amazing. We didn't get a chance to chat when that one came out. I know we were supposed to, but then you got sick or something. So
Let's Go was a real fun one. I tell you what, we've been working with a sync agent recently, and we almost got it into the new Expendables movie, and it was just very narrowly edged out by another song. So that one really
it would have been perfect. Can you imagine like Stallone or something driving off a cliff, just like your poster shows, and just like a car, and Let's Go starts right as you hit that apex of the jump? That would have been so tight.
yeah.
We were in Oppenheimer the other day, and then we saw the trailer for the new Expendables. We just leaned over and looked at each other.
Yeah, we were on other sides of the cinema. We both just like leaned over and looked at each other, just like, God, what could have been?
So wait, who beat you out then? What song was the?
We don't know. It was in the trailer, but I wasn't sitting there with Shazam open in my phone when we're watching.
It was something I was unfamiliar with.
Yeah, some other rock beat the drum kind of. We're gonna kick some butt. That kind of song.
Oh, sounds fun. That's still cool that you were that close. That's a big.
Yeah, we were real close.
Yeah.
Better than not being close at all, I guess.
Exactly.
How do you get close? How do you have a manager that pitches that?
It's a sync agency that we've been working with quite recently, and basically, when anything comes across their desk that they feel that we're an appropriate fit for, they have a menu of our songs, catalog of our songs, I should say, and they just send out the ones that they think or we suggest are the most appropriate for it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I mean, even if getting in like a B movie or a lesser video or movie would be huge, I think. Anything exposure.
Get me in as the intro of the Chuck Shute podcast, I'd be damn stoked.
There we go. Hey, yeah. So then the new song is awesome too. That I don't think people have heard this. This is not technically out yet, right?
Well, not today. I don't know if we're live right now or what, but maybe by the time you put this up, which is going to be Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific, it's going to be up.
The video will be out there, but
the
in terms of streaming services, it'll be out. No, I guess it
Thursday
is.
Night,
Pacific.
Yeah, Pacific.
Yes,
Thursday night, 9 p.m.
So midnight Thursday Eastern time, though.
Yeah,
it's just been like you've posted a snippet of it though, right? Like so people kind of have a
little hints at what's coming together.
Yeah, little promo pieces, but nothing at all. That approximates the entirety of the song.
Well, it's crazy. The video is really cool too. This video and the last one, Let's Go, both the music videos seem really expensive and like because they're so high quality. Are you able to make it like on a pretty good budget then?
Yeah,
incredible budget to be honest.
Incredibly low, small budget.
The best thing about, the first thing and best thing about it is that Jake is pretty much able to handle all of the editing aspect by himself. So that is a huge, element of it financially that we're able to just handle in-house. In terms of the actual filming of it, Jake's got some buddies.
Yeah, Fourth Street Production with Todd Grilly and our buddy Tony Verselli, who's been directing our stuff for a long time now. They give us as much mates rates as they can. They're usually working with much bigger fish than us, but because we've been friends with them, we played basketball on a team with them like 10 years ago. We've been friends with them for years, so they know what the operation is, and basically they're proud of every one of these videos that we put out. So they do it as a little passion project thing with us, and we've been very lucky to have them on our side with that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. So do you guys have a bass player yet or an official, because there's a drummer in the video, but is he an official member of the band or
Ian's been drumming with us on tour for last few tours, I think, and we've known Ian for a long time. He has a lot of other projects that he oscillates in and out of, but as far as when we're out on the road and we're playing live shows, Ian's definitely seeming like the guy that wants to do the job the most, and he was down to do this video. As far as bass, we've been playing with our good friend Jason Allen in the acoustic world, But
Former member of the Butcher Babies.
yes.
Oh, I had them on the girls from that. Those guys are great. Or those women.
Yeah. He played with them for years and years during the formation kind of formulative phases of the band.
Touring with Manson and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he was there with the good stuff. But he's been playing with us, but he unfortunately cannot tour because he's got a big boy life. He's got a daughter, and he works
big boy job.
Yeah, big boy job down here. So we're still discussing with other people with options for the touring aspect, but things are good.
Do you have a tour lined up?
We've got a couple that are in the wings that are being sort of written.
Nothing that we can announce per se, but we've got one that's looking like is going to be happening later towards the end of the year with a legacy 80s band that will be a hell of a lot of fun. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Whoa, I can't wait. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Legacy 80s band. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
We'll come through Scottsdale for sure. Even if we're not playing with them, we'll make sure we'll make a stop there.
Is this a band that I've had on my podcast, you know?
I am not sure, but I definitely we're hush hush about it because we don't know if it's actually 100% yet, and until it is, we've made that mistake before about getting our penises too erect for an idea before we
not only getting our hopes up, but then it's spilling the beans too early is the worst part.
Oh, dude, I know. I had Dateline NBC call me in early January, and I was so excited. And I did mention it to one person, and but then it fell apart, and I was like, because that would have been a huge. They were going to use a snippet of one of my interviews. I don't know if you follow the Idaho murders, but that kid that murdered all the girls in Idaho, his teacher was like a criminology. He was taking like criminology classes. I interviewed her, and they said she wouldn't do interviews, so they wanted to use my interview with her. But then at the last second, the lawyers pulled it, and I was like, damn it.
Wow.
That sucks, dude. I feel like often sometimes when you like put it out in the universe and tell people it's already happening and blah, blah, it makes it happen more for me, in my opinion. But when it gets to something like that's a little bit touchy, like a tour where we don't really control, like if I say, oh, our video's coming out by August 25th for sure. And I know that that's a little bit of a lofty expectation. It'll at least like put it out there to the universe that I'm fucking forcing this.
Yeah, and it also puts a fire under your own ass.
Yeah,
like if you said it, then you have to follow through with it. But your point, definitely when the whole thing is predicated on someone else, then it's a little bit
contingent
tougher
on the other mofos.
Yeah, but sometimes I've noticed too, like bad stuff, like something like that will happen where you'll lose an opportunity, but then like another opportunity comes along that's sometimes even better. So
very true. Very true.
Yep.
Well, that'd be awesome if you hit Scottsdale. I'd love to see you guys and see the show. It sounds like it's going to be amazing if it's an 80s band. Yep. I've never seen you guys live.
That's mental.
That is
after we've hung out so many times. That's crazy.
I think, well, you've come here. I think you've only come once since I've followed you. And I think it was like on a Tuesday or something. And I don't know what happened, but
we were out there for my 40th birthday, but that was not playing time. That was just party time.
Oh, it was a different type of playing time.
Yeah. Well, so back to the video though. So explain the theme of this for the people that don't know, because the song's called California Demon. So you can kind of guess what it's about, but it's really like there's a lot of satanic imagery and themes with it.
So funnily enough, our uncle, Christian conservative uncle, has just recently disowned us over this video, actually.
I don't know why Jake sent it to him, first of all, but anyway.
I sent it to him because I needed some suggestions for promotional materials of various celebrities that he believes had sold their souls to the devil, so I could use it in these little clips leading up to this release or whatever. Anyway, so he watches the video, immediately calls our mom. Mom calls us, having a freak out, telling us that Alan has disowned us. And I try to explain to him, like, dude, basically, me and Luke don't particularly believe in a literal Satan. We think that the term of like selling your soul to the devil is more of a metaphor for, like selling your artistic integrity to get a bigger deal with some record company or something like that. And then they control you and you're their little puppet and you have to do their bidding and maybe make songs you don't like very much, etc. But he's always believed in a literal Satan, as many Christians and other people around America do these days. And I always thought that concept of like really like factually signing your soul on a piece of paper to the devil and then him giving you Illuminati fame and fortune was just an amazing, like, I don't know. It's a cool little idea for a song, even though it's a bit of a cliche these days, but it's still, I don't know, highly entertaining. So we just sort of ran with that, California Demon, California Dreamin', and then
it's about a girl who comes to Hollywood looking for fame and fortune and has to exactly sell her soul away in order to actually get it, and realizes that that's the only way that she can achieve that is by doing that.
And things don't go so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't you think like with some of what Hollywood is doing, they're kind of trolling Christians, like Sam Smith dressing up like Satan and stuff like.
But then there's the other end of it. Like, I mean, how much are they actually doing weird shit? Because like you see these Megan Fox videos, you talk about drinking each other's blood, and you see these weird Bohemian Grove rituals, and some of the guys that you've had on your podcast before, like what's his name, Jay Widener, Jay Dyer. Yeah, I mean these guys are all well too versed with like what was it, Hollywood esoterica, and I've read that book, and they know all too well that these elite people are doing some pretty weird shit. I don't know if they necessarily believe in a Satan of Satans, and if they're getting Katy Perry to sign on flesh tablets or something crazy like that for their souls, but they're definitely doing some pretty weird shit. So how much of it's real and how much of it isn't, I don't know. That's kind of the fun of the song.
Well, yeah, and then it's like, how much do you believe it? Because I feel like if you really believe it, that to me is all about psychology. Like if you really believe in either way, like if you really believe in God, maybe then something really good could happen to you. But if you really believe that you're, Satan and that you're selling your soul and all this, like you could have some really bad stuff happen to you.
Yeah. Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a cool video. Either way, it's cool. Like I feel like it's not a cliche right now. I feel like it maybe used to be in the 80s, but I feel like it's kind of like not been talked about as much. Although recently, they had like
the whole Satanic Panic thing happened. It's really quite funny. Like it resurged with the Sam Smith thing and with Gaga. And, oh, hey, Poppy, our doggy's here. And all the rest of it. It really had a resurgence, this Satanic Panic thing. But I mean, we'd finished recording the song about a year ago. So that was before the Sam Smith thing happened and all the little Nas X and all these guys doing it. And I was like, wow, this is really playing in perfectly to our song concept. We'll have to use some of this stuff for the promo.
Well, yeah. And then there's the whole like adrenochrome stuff. I shouldn't even say that word. Now I'm getting demonetized for saying the word.
Exactly. We just got this whole thing taken off the algorithm or whatever.
Yeah, probably. But anyways, that is an interesting conspiracy theory. There's no evidence. So I'm just going to say that right now. There's no evidence of it, but there's a lot of people that really, truly believe that is a real thing.
Your buddy Jay Dyer certainly does, but I don't know what to believe about it truly, dude. Like the depths of it. We found it just a fun concept for a rock song, and we played into all of the satanic symbolism and imagery and all the rest of it.
We knew that the imagery would make for some pretty visually striking moments, so it just it came out that way, just from an artistic perspective. And it's funny that, like Jake was saying, the uncle element and stuff like that, we really had zero intention of making it seem like there's any advocacy or anything like that. That was not the plan. It was just, let's make an artistic video that to some extent isn't expose, but also just really delves into the idea of it artistically. So
it's more telling the story. It's not saying
it's not jumping on either side. It's just telling the story.
And it's certainly not like, oh, this is a wonderful thing. This wonderfully. She gets in a botched plastic surgery, and she's like turned into a little monster by the end of it. By
the end, she's in this all black. She's
demonic outfit,
a monster with like big claws and fingers, and it's pretty clear.
Yeah, and even metaphorically, I feel like selling your soul, like you guys said, could be the metaphor about it. Like, how many stories have you heard of girls? That's the whole Me Too thing. Is like these girls sleeping with these producers, thinking they're going to get a movie part. I've heard stories. I can't remember who it was telling me a story recently where this girl like had sex with two of the bouncers and then like didn't even get to see the band. They were just like, oh, just kidding.
The band. Damn. That's pretty rough.
Not even fame and fortune right there.
Not even fame and fortune. Wow. I don't know. It's a pretty gnarly idea, but it does play into a lot. We weren't expecting sort of the kind of reaction from our uncle, but it kind of like alluded to, wow, maybe some like of the public's going to have this kind of reaction. And I posted this little promo last night of Bob Dylan talking about selling his soul to the captain, the chief of this world and the world that we don't see, or something like that. And some person is already chiming in on the biblical end, like, well, Bob Dylan is a devout Christian, and he's talking about Jesus. And I was like, we don't really talk about striking bargains with Jesus too often. Either way, I think that it's a good sign that people are going to have pretty strong reactions to it one way or the other, and bring on all the controversy.
That's good for the song. That's good for people talking about it, loving it or hating it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly
And
right.
do you think about that now, like with your, because I know for people who don't follow Jake on Instagram, dude, it's like the best follow, because you're always posting like articles and shit, and it's like, and most of it I'm like, oh, that can't be real, and then I Google it and I'm like, oh shit, that's real. I think I said this last time, but I mean, so it's really fascinating. Do you ever think of working more of those kinds of stories into your lyrics? Because I feel like that could really get you some attention for the songs.
We've had different discussions about that.
We certainly have. There's been periods of time where I've been more concerned about it causing alienation with certain potential fans that way. But more and more we see more people I guess just to tell their story and tell their opinions throughout their music, etc., especially these days. And if it's controversial, then it's probably a good thing nowadays.
Yeah, because so much noise.
Like the same thing what you're saying, if there's any sort of publicity, it really is good publicity, and it's hard to kind of filter through the amount of stuff that's being put out there these days. And if you've got any sort of story to tell, if it's somewhat interesting, whether it's controversial or not, it's probably better just to speak the truth and put it out there, and to do it rather than be fearful of alienating a certain potential group of people or fans that you could be getting otherwise.
Well, exactly. Like, I don't know, you guys, I'm sure you saw the Oliver Anthony song that just blew up, and it's being labeled a conservative, like right-wing song, but he's come out and said, like, look, I'm a moderate, like I'm just middle of the road. I feel like the song was more anti-establishment and more anti-government, big government and big corporation.
Like to be anti-corporation and anti-rich men above Richmond is like, now that's a crazy right-wing extremist conspiracy or something. I'm like,
I don't. Okay, like that's So, but a lot of people relate to that song. I mean, that thing blew up, and it's a rock song, and you could hear that he's pissed off in his voice, like even not even just with the lyrics, but just the way he's singing it. He's like so much emotion. Like, I think you guys should do some songs like that. I feel like that could be really popular.
Yeah, thank you, bro. That's a good suggestion. We got one that's a little bit not as in your face and extreme of a subject as that coming, called Ain't Funny, which is kind of about how you're not allowed to joke about anything anymore, and that everybody is offended by everything, and basically if there isn't a butt of a joke in the joke, then it's not funny at all.
Yeah. Did you see what's that?
It ain't funny unless it offends somebody.
Yeah, that I can't wait to hear that song. That sounds amazing, because it's so true. Like even today, they said that they're taking the song "Fat Bottom Girls" off of Queen's Greatest Hits, because it's like, I swear to God.
Oh God.
Isn't that pro?
That's what I thought. I mean, I guess technically, I think if you read the article, it says like it's a children's streaming service or something, I guess. But even for kids, I'm like, I mean, it uses the word fanny. Is that offensive? Is fanny offensive now? We're banning.
I would have thought these days they would want the Fat Bottom Girls for kids angle.
Yeah, I thought it's fat shaming to take that song off.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a pretty weirder and weirder world as far as what's trying to get canceled and what's allowed and what's not, and straddling that line. But like you said, dude, it might be wise for us to touch on it a little bit more, because as it stands, we're not some monolithically huge enterprise that is going to be taken down and ruin the livelihoods of a million other people with jobs underneath us. It can only help.
Basically, I need to let Jake off the lid and just let him run wild with all of his ideas in our music.
But it educates people. Like, I never really paid attention to the news and all this shit, and then 2020 happened, and I started like looking into some of this stuff, and Jake's article, a lot of the stuff Jake's posted has actually helped me learn about a lot of this stuff.
Yep.
And like,
There you
you know,
go.
like a big corporation that's named after a very dark rock is that's another one that I'm like, that owns like everything. I'm like, oh, I never knew who this was, you know, 2 years ago. And so I don't know, could make a song about it. I think it'd go very viral.
They're definitely getting exposed a bit more.
Yeah. And you guys have other songs too, Luke? Because I saw your Facebook post about how all these songs that you guys have been working on and for years are finally coming together.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're about to be posting pretty consistently, I think, over the next, definitely the rest of the year. We got a whole bunch of videos that we're going to be releasing too, from retroactively, I guess, for songs that we were unable to finish the videos for prior. Like My Kind of Girl has got a video coming out.
Get on it.
Get On It, the song Running Out of Time. We were unable due to COVID and other circumstances that happened in between.
Money restrictions,
things like that. But we finally kind of got those ducks in a row. We'll be releasing those videos. And yeah, we got a back catalog of songs that we've been working on for the last, I don't know, 3-4 years that should be coming out. If not this year, then next year too. So I think we're going to be doing a lot of pretty rapid releases. I'm very excited about it.
This one's the big one. California Demons, the one we put a lot of our like creative juice and scheduling into for the last long while, because shit, it was a hell of a video to put together. Lots of moving components, etc. But now it's finally getting there. We're gonna have a little bit more free time to go through the catalog and polish up this, that, and the other, and get the videos out for those.
Yep.
And is it all just still going to be singles released, or will it be an EP or an album?
We've got an EP coming pretty soon. We got maybe a couple more singles in the chamber to come out, and then I think early next year is probably going to be an EP, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And so then we
went and recorded again with our friend Mike Pepe, our favorite producer, out at Fab Factory Studios, and at Canyon Hut with Dash, our favorite drum dude. And what did we do? 4 songs?
We did 5.
We did 5 songs, so that's probably enough for an EP these days.
5 songs, including a cover. And we got another cover we did last time that we haven't released. I think we got about 10 or 12 songs that are pretty close to being done that we'll be releasing over this year and next year.
Okay, so then do you play those songs live now, or are you going to wait until
we have played a lot of them live? Yes.
Okay. How do you decide a set list? Like, because you open for, like, when you're opening for Buck Cherry or Candlebox, do you adjust the set depending on who you're opening for?
Definitely dependent on the band we're playing under or playing with, and then the audience. Also, time restriction is a big thing, because there are certain songs that, you know, although they may be more capturing, or one of the ones we imagine that the crowd will like more, if it's a 7-minute song for us to do live or something, and we've only got 30 minutes, it's kind of hard to justify taking up, you know, nearly a third of your set time with one song in a situation like that. So there are a lot of factors that really go into it.
And what about the covers? Because I know, like, you've done you know, the Chris Isaak song and the Doors, but those are not on Spotify. Are those only just for Facebook? And
I mean, the Chris Isaak one, we've just been playing a lot during the Unplugged thing. I guess we've got a recording of it back when Bear was in the band. We never put that on Spotify, but we are talking about.
You can tell on the one that we've done live before that we did with Pepe last time. We can probably drop that.
Yeah, we've got this Elton John, Benny and the Jets, and also we've got coming up In Excess, Never Tear Us Apart. The way we sort of decide on covers usually is if there's something that we can bring to it that really makes it our own. That's maybe not so much the case with the Chris Isaak one. We're pretty straight and narrow with what he does.
And that's because we did it acoustic too, you know, like, but a lot of these other ones, looking back, the Fight for Your Right was a little bit of a different spin on the Beastie Boys one. Also, the Viva Las Vegas
was a big difference.
Was a big difference between the kind of happy-go-lucky Elvis version to a kind of more dark, somber, you know, rendition by us. So
I mean, we even changed the time signature from 4/4 to 3/4 on that one, and made a whole new riff, whole new melody. Yeah, basically, Viva Las Vegas was just the lyrics at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I love when bands do covers, and like you said, when they put a different spin on it, because otherwise I'm like, what is the point of that? I mean, I guess if you just play it live for fun. But...
Yeah. And often people will give us suggestions for songs, like, oh, you guys should cover this, because it's kind of like already a song that's in our world. Like, okay, well, I guess thank you for hearing what our kind of direction is, and knowing that yes, we love Alice in Chains, but us putting out a cover of Rooster doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because you can't improve upon perfection, for one, and two, like what are we going to bring to
change to it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but doing it live just to throw it in for fun, that's kind of fun for everybody. Right?
We've done Wood live a few times, and
yeah. That would be
we've been doing acoustic down the hole recently too at our last few performances. So
we're actually about to put that out, right? We've got a video of
We're about to put that out. We just did a little similar to the Wicked Game cover that we did. We're in a similar fashion. We've done Down the Hole.
Yes.
Is it hard to sing like Lane Staley? I feel like if I ever tried that for karaoke, I'm like, I can't do this.
I was singing Lane Staley before I was singing me, I guess I would say. When people are like, oh, have you ever taken singing lessons, or you ever practice at that? Me and Luke both see ourselves as guitarists, and then it was just sort of one of us has to sing, and I had sang a lot in the car along to Lane Staley and Cornell, and that was sort of my introduction into singing for us, I guess, or my training for singing for us.
Yeah, so you can train your voice to get better too, or is it just over time?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the more I sing, I think the better, stronger, and longer the voice has in a performance for me. If we like slack off and we don't practice for 6 months, it definitely takes me like 3 days to get it back to like wow kind of world.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. God, you're getting me all pumped up. I want to see you guys live now. When is this tour, the potential tour? When would this happen?
We were told like late September, early October.
Yeah.
So that's a good time to come to Arizona for sure.
Yeah, pretty soon. Yeah, sooner than we think.
Coming up quick, hey.
And you have a show at the Troubadour. That's
Wednesday night. Wednesday. Yeah. So we're playing Unplugged again, opening for Them Guns, which I believe is Priscilla Presley's son's band.
Yep.
We've not met them before, but we're very honored to open up for them. Playing the Unplugged thing again, get some Alice in Chains in there, get some Chris Isaac in there, get some what else?
Some of Limbo.
Some of Limbo in there.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about the show you did with Kyle Gass from Tenacious D. I was like, I saw that and I was like, holy shit, that's a big name to play with.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a big connection with Steve at D Piazzas, which is just a Long Beach staple of a venue. It's like the place that everybody plays first, and usually people still choose to play. So he had Kyle Gass coming in, and usually when there's a good rock act, he'll give us a message to see if we're interested. And we said, well, we're not set up for full band right now. We're going to do Unplugged if that's okay. And he said, okay, yeah, well, then you guys just open it. And we said, hell yeah, love the idea.
Perfect.
Yeah. And Kyle was hilarious. He was in full Kyle Gass form.
Showman, as you would expect.
Yeah.
So you got to like meet him and hang out with him a little bit, or
briefly got to say hello.
Yeah,
outside.
It wasn't. We weren't smashing beers and smoking doobies together or anything like that. But yeah, we were.
Because that would be cool.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Wait,
so was the 80s band, was that because you had this Facebook post about that venues are paying less and that you guys were offered a tour with
that was a different 80s band.
So that was another legacy act that you were offered, and you had to actually decline that one because it wasn't going to pay enough?
Yeah, the venues have been getting more and more scant these days, I guess, with what they're paying opening acts, because I guess their model lately has been it's better to get local opening acts and then force them to do the whiskey and no kind of pre-sale thing where, oh yeah, you guys can open up for Candlebox today, but you've got to sell 300 tickets. Not that Kevin Martin would ever approve such pre-sale scumbaggery. That was just an example. But yeah, when a touring act comes through, they get local acts to do a pre-sale thing because that's one way to guarantee ticket sales, etc., rather than having a secondary touring act underneath the primary headliner.
Which, I mean, in a certain way, in terms of just getting people into the place, makes sense, because there's more chance, for us to, if we were to head to a city that we've never played before, it's unlikely that we'll be bringing in a lot of heads. But for a local band, that has friends, family, or whatever, they're going to bring people in. The only problem with the whole scenario is that the local band might not be, great, might not be pretty good. And so it really lessens the quality of the show overall in a lot of circumstances, because it means that you're not able to get consistently good acts coming through, as opposed to just maybe start off bands that can just pull a few more heads because they're asking their grandma to come to the show.
And it's also choosing not to invest in your future with other bands.
Live bands.
So
exactly.
For instance, when we played Wichita maybe 3 times now, and every single time we go back there's way more people for us than there was the time before. Whereas if Razor Knife was opening up for whatever the band is, like they're probably not getting their same friends and family back to a theater size show every couple months or every year, even. Once they've seen Razor Knife, they got the gist. But as far as going to see Of Limbo, oh wow, this is a surprise. I've never heard of this band, but fuck, they're awesome, and we're gonna come the next time.
Keep going every time they come through town. Exactly.
Yeah, it seems like it's just so competitive now. And then you got the buy-on thing happening, which it has pluses and minuses, because I know like here we have the Black Moods, and they have like a management company or something that I think it's just like a rich couple that kind of took them under their wing, and they're like really helping them out, which is great because they deserve it. But then you have other bands who maybe they have a rich uncle or something, and maybe they're buying all those seats that, for the buy-ons or whatever. And
I don't know if they're buying seats in the venues as much as they are, the buy-on being just paying the band above them to take them on tour with them. Usually what a buy-on, as far as my understanding is. Yeah, we wanted to do this last tour, the one you're talking about, but it wasn't a buy-on. We would never even consider that, but it was a situation. Yeah, we couldn't consider it. It was a situation where the venues were offering us $100 a show, and like we could sell merch pretty well, but if the venue pay doesn't even cover gas from venue to venue, that's going to be pretty tough. We gotta eat like some kind of food, and we could sleep in the van every here and there. But we're down to slum it, but $100 when it doesn't even cover the gas, and you're having to dip into merch sales just to cover gas, that's pretty fucking tough.
Yeah, that's rough. Is how the merch sales go pretty well, because you guys have some cool stuff, and I would think that would be a big piece of it.
Absolutely do. It's a lot easier when we're playing with, say, Buck Cherry or Candlebox, or bands where we are automatically have got an inbuilt crowd that we're playing to of,
Theater
1,000 people, because it's a lot easier to sell to a lot more people than to go to, if we're playing under smaller bands or whatever, to go to a bar where there's 100 people, but playing the numbers game, you're going to get more sales the more people that you're playing to than you are the less people. So that's a huge determining factor.
That's also another fun little dance that we've had to do before, is like being good but not being that good. Because one time opening for a band that I shall not name, I guess, they played well, I thought, and everything, but when we're over at the merch thing, we had a damn line going out the door for people waiting to take photos and buy merch and stuff, and their merch guy at the end of the night basically pulled us aside and said that we shouldn't hang out at the merch booth anymore because it has really pissed off this band as far as how much we outsold them that night. So yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's a good problem to have, I guess.
I guess, but you boys have chosen to go back to the tour bus and like sit there on your iPads instead of conversing with the people. So we're going to take every opportunity we can to meet new people and convert them into friends/fans, and hopefully come fucking see us again,
And customers. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, customer. Yeah. At that exact.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's such a huge piece of it, is the sales part. It's all not just the meet and greets, but also the social media and responding to comments on YouTube and all that, as much as you can, until you get too big where you can't respond, and then I guess that's a good problem to have. But yeah, if the opening band is outselling you probably should be out there trying to sell.
Yeah. I think they're one of the bands that was spoiled in the 2000s with a lot of butt rock fame, and they've been able to coast along pretty well since then. But I guess it was a little upsetting for them that we outsold them. But hey, live and learn. I'm not actually. I didn't learn anything from that. I'm not gonna play any less good. I'm not gonna fucking make our merch any shittier, and I'm certainly gonna still stand by the booth and meet everyone if I can. But
so the only thing that hurts you is that maybe that band won't have you back on.
That's exactly right. Yes, even when it was one when we were trying to make a connecting date, I believe they were playing like Tulsa or something like that, and we were trying to make a connecting date, and got our booking agent to try and iron it all out, and we were just told out a flat out no, and I remembered why it would actually be, but the reason we were, I think, bullshitly given was because our Spotify numbers weren't high enough, which was complete bullshit, because then I looked up the act that they actually had, and their Spotify numbers were like 200 monthly listeners or something like that. Anyway.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Is that a big thing too now for bands that where like you're booking, they always ask for the social media numbers on the YouTube and Spotify and all that?
We've definitely found that that's the case with the festival world. Apparently, we haven't been able to crack into that world yet, but we're hoping that's part of next year's agenda. But we've definitely heard that it's very much a numbers game on that front. What's your monthly listeners? What's your blah blah blah?
Oh, okay, yeah, because they have a couple of festivals down here in Arizona. And like Roger Klein does the one that's in a little south in Rocky Point, Mexico. I feel like you could easily get on those. Like those are very independent bands.
Chuck, you want to call up Roger Klein and whoever else and tell them of Limbo's coming through town? And
well, he won't return my phone calls, but I feel like looking at look at some of those. There's another festival besides Roger Klein that I'm supposed to interview the head of the festival in September. So I'll put in a word for you on that one. I mean, it's
exactly what to do then, Chuck. Love it, man.
Yeah. I'll throw out your name out there and a couple other bands that I love. But yeah, this one's like a smaller
where
one.
to send the check. Well, and we'll mail it out to you for your booking agency work.
No, I mean, it's not like I'm selling. I'm just selling what I actually love. I really like the band. Like, I'm not like, you guys aren't paying me to say that. Like, I'm being
joking, man. He's joking.
Yeah, but I know there's a lot of that shit that goes on. But no, most of the bands I have on here, I mean, I am a fan of. So yeah, especially you guys. Like, I reached out to you the first time because I think with Joyous Wolf, I think Nick Reese was the guy that mentioned your band, which is interesting what's happened with him. I know you've done shows with them before, but they've kind of gone their separate ways. So I'm curious to see what his new project. I've heard some of the music.
Yeah.
I've heard that. It's kind of interesting.
It's different direction for him. The Props is his new band. Yep. We have, for some unfortunate set of reasons, not been able to make it to the live show yet. I think they've had a couple that were local, but for one reason or another, Luke working, I can't remember why. Anyway, we weren't able to go to either one of those two shows, but looking forward big time to checking Nick's new project, The Props, out. Also looking forward to Joyous Wolf finding their new singer and continuing down their trajectory.
Yeah, it must be tough because they've been singerless for a while. I mean, Nick is hard to replace. He was pretty amazing frontman.
Yeah. Different. You know, it's about finding the right pieces of the puzzle. We're certainly no stranger to
personnel changes,
having a difficulty of keeping the right personnel at the right time. But it's almost like I heard Trivium say at one time about their drummers. They're like, we kind of see drummers as like girlfriends, you know, like we don't regret any one of them that we had. They were just like the right person for the right time. And I totally think that that's the case. Like, it's not, we've never kicked anybody out of the band. They've just decided that different things were happening in their lives and they needed to do different stuff. And we wish them all the best in their newfound
pursuits.
Pursuits.
Yeah, what happened with your last bass player? He was a kind of a fan favorite. I liked him, but he wanted to
he's a fun guy. But Rob is off concentrating on his own music, so follow Gravy Lightning, and he's playing his own stuff that he felt he came to the band after his other band Beowulf that he was the main writer for had ended, and it was a kind of perfect fit because we needed a bass player at that time. But I think ultimately he didn't want to.
He wants to get his own music out there. Is really
Yes.
what it is.
Rather than playing my
and
music.
Up Limbo wasn't the kind of vehicle to do that, and so he's gone to pursue his own stuff, so he can have his voice heard and his own songs heard, and it's wish him the absolute best in it.
Yeah,
And
he came to our show the other night. We had a great old time, just sinking beers. It felt like we were on tour again. Honestly,
yeah, it did.
We were at D Piazza's, the place you mentioned before, and we had an acoustic show, and he came, and we were all hanging out on the patio. Got pretty sloshed by the end of it, and it genuinely felt to me like it was a tour night when we were in the middle of the country or something. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys party a lot. I mean, is that like you party on stage a lot of it, or is it more after?
I mean, there's been times where I feel like I've made that mistake, but
yes. We try not to drink too much before, like maybe a couple shots and just get the juices flowing. But then on stage, there's usually some beers. If we're playing Let's Get Fucked Up, you got to have it as a prop. It's like part of the thing.
Post show is really where you let the hair down.
Yeah, I mean, especially on tour when, like I said, we're hanging at the booth and we're selling merch and stuff, and
people are just offering like drinks left, right, and center.
Guys, you gotta take a shot with me. You said Let's Get Fucked Up song. We gotta get fucked up.
And I feel like, yeah, exactly.
Right, let's do it.
I feel like if someone offers me a shot, that's like an olive branch. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, decline?
Exactly, that's rude.
It's credit more than rude, but like they feel offended. So it's happened before, certainly, where they've offered me a shot and I said, I don't know if I'm a state to do it, and they get kind of offended. I'm like, oh shit.
And then you take it.
And I have to end up taking it. Yeah, because like I don't want to lose that connection with a fan potentially that was there, on the table right there.
Yeah.
So
what was the shit you made me drink when I was? What were you drinking? You had some good drink that you were pitching at the bar last
Speaking
time.
of which, what are you wearing right now?
The day drinker shirt.
The day drinker shirt, baby, from Breakfast Bar where Luke works.
Breakfast Bar Long Beach. I think I was making you breakfast margaritas from memory.
Yeah, that's a cool place. Good food. I need to come back.
What's a breakfast margarita? It's a margarita with some scrambled eggs in it?
Not exactly. It's a margarita with our proprietary orange marmalade infused.
Oh shit! It's full under wraps, top secret.
Oh yeah, none of y'all.
I just remember it was really smooth, and I was feeling very good. So
yeah, excellent. That was the intention was achieved.
All right. Well, I'll definitely have to pay you back if you guys come through Arizona. I'll buy you a drink.
I love Scottsdale.
Yeah, it's great. Especially, once, like you said, if you come late September, early October, it'll be perfect, especially at night. It'll be, I don't know if the venue will be outside or inside, but it'll be nice.
Only bummer is they don't have the Salt River float all year, dude. We did Salt River last time we were out there when we were opening for Blue Oyster Cult, and that was great. Was that Tucson though? No. Where was that? That was near Scottsdale.
I don't know, dude.
Oh, that Salt River float is dangerous. I've done that a couple times, and it's like last time we did it. Oh man, it was just drinking too much, and then the sun, and oh, it's rough. I'm getting too old for that.
I was kind of trashed by the end, and I literally, the current was so strong, and I wasn't tall enough at the certain point where we were supposed to stop. I couldn't stop.
And then, I just like a Hispanic man at the side had a full lasso and fucking rocked his ass. Dude,
it was incredible. I wish we had that on film.
Oh, so good.
I had the few friends that were there watching it were pissing themselves.
We were barreled over laughing
because I just couldn't stop myself, and I had to get saved by this guy fully lassoing me like a horse.
It was great.
It was hysterical.
That is great. The times that you don't have a video camera or a video phone, that's the worst.
The best.
Awesome. Well, cool guys. We'll hope to see you on tour, and people looking for the new song California Demon coming out this Thursday, and then I guess a bunch more new music, which I'm excited about because I love your stuff. So it's great.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, and then I always end promoting a charity. I can't remember what we talked about. We promoted last time. Is there something that people could donate to?
Your suggestion is as good as mine. Oh no, okay. Maui Fires, but make sure it's one that's actually going to the people of Maui, not some scumbag.
Actually, yeah, I did some research and I asked some people that live down there, and everyone promoted the same one. So I'll put that in the show notes. I think it's called Maui Strong. I'll put the website in there along with your website, and people can pre-save that song if it's not out. If they're listening to this, before it comes out, and they can always pre-save all your other stuff. Follow you guys on social media. Follow Jake's social media. It's really
Jake's on private. So if you want to see the real juicy stuff,
it is. It's private.
He has to be.
Have to, dude. Yeah.
Do people get mad at your links?
Enraged.
Yeah.
Really?
Basically, it's funny that you even mentioned it, Chuck, because we try for a long time to like disassociate me or that me with the band, and that's why I got a separate Instagram that's like just the Jake the singer, Jake in your.
And I'll tell you even funnier element to all of this. Jake is sometimes not the most kind of like switched on unit in terms of details, and so there'll be plenty of times where suddenly I'll log on to Facebook or Instagram, and he's posted something that he meant to post on his personal account to the band account that's completely inappropriate and, you know, irrelevant to our music. Something that's some strong opinion of his, and I'll just have to screenshot it and send it to him like, Jake, you've done it again, mate. Like, come on, reel it back in. You gotta keep a hold on these things.
Why is of Limbo posting Alex Jones telling me that the frogs are gay?
Yeah, exactly. Shit like that happens more often than you would know. Thankfully, we have people, myself, ex-girlfriend,
and also
see, that's what I'm saying. You need to incorporate this into your music. I want to see the song about the World Economic Forum, a song about eating bugs and climate lockdowns. I want to see this music.
A song maybe it's a side project entirely, Chuck. We call it Gay Frogs or Reptilian Agenda or something fucking hilarious.
I'm telling you, it would go viral. People love this stuff. Like, it's very interesting. And the scary thing is a lot of the stuff you're posting that I go, oh, that's crazy, it's not true. And even if I okay, it's not true, that'll never happen, like a prediction or something. And then like a year later, I'm like, holy shit, that thing Jake posted was real.
Hey, Chuck, mate, please don't encourage him too much.
I'm definitely yeah. I mean, he probably misses some of the time. Yes, but
of course.
There's a lot of home runs.
Misses, though. We never hear about the misses, only the makes.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it's not just him. There's a lot of people posting it, but it's fun either way. Even if you don't agree, it's fun it's entertaining. Yeah,
very entertaining.
Exactly
Can't deny that.
Think of it like that. Okay, well, thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
Thanks for having us.
Bye-bye. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the full podcast episode. Please help support our guests by following them on social media and purchasing their products, whether it be a book, album, film, or other thing. And if you have a few extra dollars, please consider donating it to their favorite charity. If you want to support the show, you can like, share, and comment on this episode on social media and YouTube. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can give us a rating or review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. Finally, make sure you're subscribed to the show on YouTube for the video versions and other exclusive content. We appreciate your support. Have a great rest of your day and shoot for the moon.